Hi guys, welcome back to the final episode this summer of 100 Games of Summer. We have reached number 100 and it is Control, which came out yesterday on the 27th of August 2019. Today's the 28th. So yeah, we're doing a little bit of Control. It's a game I've not played through yet, of course, because in order to do that I would have had to have played like non-stop the entire day, and there's no way, I just couldn't bring myself to do that. So yeah, we're kind of continuing on. I just got past a boss that was really kicking my butt. I think it's because I'm slightly, or not slightly, I'm quite underpowered and I haven't upgraded things enough, but this game is awesome. You can take things and you can, objects from the environment, levitate them, fire them at people using your Jedi powers. I mean, it looks like a Jedi power. So, and then you've got those cool guns. You can switch in to different forms. This is like a kind of mini shotgun version of your. And then this little pistol. I love the style, I love the plot, I love so many things about this game. It is amazing. I keep using that adjective to describe it, amazing, because it's a very simple adjective. It's not enthralling, it's not, you know, transcendental or anything like that. It just is amazing me, so very, very cool game. So yeah, this stream is all part of a series that I am now completing, I'm now finishing, called 100 Games of Summer. It basically is me going through 100 games from my collection on PS4 Pro, where basically I am playing a variety of games from my collection of 160 odd games that I've got for the PS4 Pro, and I wanted to celebrate the PS4 Pro or PS4 because we're coming to the end of the generation, and we've got PS5 on the horizon. Now I'm gasping because there's a rubber duck there, and you may think it's strange, but if you know the story and you've read the text in this, you'll see that the rubber duck is quite important.
Item number 52AE analysis, session 2. Altered item number 52A. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First, a low voltage electric shock.
It's really cool. It's cool to listen to what's going on.
Next, I will introduce heat via a standard Bunsen burner. No response. Next, a series of solutions will be applied, each with a different value on the pH scale from 0 to 14. No response to any value. Next, I will attempt to communicate. Can you understand me? Can you understand my words? Quack if you can understand my words. No response. This concludes session 2. We'll need time to prepare further tests.
Quack if you can understand my words. It's so cool. You've got to like read the text as you go around, look at the collectibles, and just pay attention because there's so many cool elements to the story. Actually, in my playthrough, I'm reading through everything as I go, because it's really important to kind of get a grasp of the story. And this story, I don't want to speak too soon, but it seems like one of the first cohesive stories I've played in a while, since like Red Dead Redemption 2 which had an amazing, well thought out, carefully, fully rounded story. And it's the same thing. Control seems to have that, because you, especially when it's a surreal topic, you get kind of worried that they're not going to round it off properly, and they're not going to actually. It's not going to make sense within reason, you know, like an amount of sense. And I've had that with some games, you know, going back to things like Metal Gear Solid 5, things like that, where like I love the game, but there's not enough cohesion towards the end and towards and in the game overall. So because it's not got that cohesion, you feel like a bit of a loss
This way to the lab?
when you finish it.
Okay. You must like these HRAs. Sounds like Darling built them. And most of the things around here. If Marshall can't help us with Dylan, he's our next best bet. Assuming he's not dead. Or taken over by the hiss.
Dylan is her brother. You're looking for her brother. Because basically he went missing. Where in her hometown where she's from, because they got in, they came into contact with this, like there's lots of paranatural phenomenon that go on in the game, and you can come into contact with them in the real world. And where I am right now is like a kind of FBC, which is basically the FBI office building, which can transform its shape and its like physical attributes, called the Oldest House. So I'm in there investigating all this, but this paranatural phenomenon happen outside as well in the real world, so on the wider world. It's a fascinating story. You should really get into it, because it's very cool. Some upgrades. Some materials. See if I can get this. Almost had it. Got it. They're actually a little bit confusing, those puzzles. You have to get the knack of them. Love it. I'm going to say it again. I love this graphical style, and the sound in this game is amazing. And when those titles come up like that, and then you just get that amazing sound, like it reminds me of really good filmmakers that really think about what they're doing, every little detail. So you've got things like, let me think of the examples. Mr. Robot, the series, which I absolutely love that series, and the graphics and the way they put the pacing and the way they put things together, and that is very carefully thought out. And what's it called?
You led me here. Any idea how to make it work?
Mindhunter. Mindhunter is really good for that as well. David Fincher, like the style of kind of plonking up the graphic and putting a really cool sound effect with it. I don't know, it just has, it's very stylistic, very cool, very original, I love it. What else can I say? Let's see if I'm missing anything here. A save point right here. Okay. These are probably going to come in handy. You actually have to read a lot of the information that you come across.
Hello again, Director. It appears we have a new problem. We need to get the HRA machine working.
I've replaced a couple of spark plugs, but this looks a bit more complicated.
Darling must have had a system. Randomness isn't in his nature. The punch cards, the symbols, the terminals. How do they connect?
I'll see what I can do.
So well put together, seriously. Okay, so here's puzzle elements to the game. Yeah, here we go, we're gonna have to solve a puzzle, which is cool. So I'm just gonna actually, some of the vocabulary used in the in the text are quite advanced. Let's say it's proficient level English, shall we? There's another bit of the puzzle there. Some computers. Oh, okay. I can see what I'm going to have to do here. For sure.
So, we need to find all the punch cards.
Yeah, I'll collect all the punch cards and then I'll do the puzzle section as well. There's one. This is the text I'll come back to. But like I said, I'm reading everything in the game because it's so fascinating. The story is mind-blowing. There's one over there as well.
Have you checked the upper floor?
Okay, good question. Let's do that. So yeah, this is all part of a series I'm doing called 100 Games of Summer, where I'm going through 100 games from my collection. And this is the last one, which is kind of amazing. This is number 100 of all of these games. I played everything from Spider-Man on PS4 to Red Dead Redemption 2 to Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, all the greats, all my favourite PlayStation games. I was going to add some Nintendo stuff in, but there's been a lot of copyright issues with Nintendo. I mean, there always are, but like there's been quite a few YouTubers at the moment getting strikes and there've been even cases of channels being completely wiped because of their use of Nintendo properties, music and things like that. So I'm just avoiding it completely, which is a shame because some of my favourite games on Nintendo's, of course, like Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart as well. I love Mario Kart. Yeah, so I have to say that it's been a real pleasure to be able to go and play through these 100 games. And I really want to say a heartfelt thank you. Thank you so much, guys, from the bottom of my heart for all the support. I've had a lot of you from my community get in touch with me throughout this series. And you've been nothing but nice, and it's just been so nice to hear and to read and to get in touch with you guys. I've met a lot of new friends through this as well this year, so that's really cool. It's always good to meet fellow gamers, and it's good to get excited as well. It's so exciting that we're on the brink of PS5. It's coming around the corner, and some of these new games, just like Control and others, are showing us what is possible. And you know, just imagine that it's going to be even better than this. We're in a really crazy time in the games industry right now because everyone's got their heads down working on the next generation. But you can see some of it leaking in, you know, and some of the concepts, the ideas, and Control's a good example of that. You can see where we're going. The level of production, the level of quality is very, very high. So anyway, so thank you so much, guys. I've got on my channel as well, I'm going to do a full playthrough of Control. I started yesterday because I pre-ordered the game and I got it on release. And as soon as it was released, I started streaming it. So I've streamed like a healthy chunk of it already, probably in the region of 6 hours. And like I said, I just got past a boss that was kicking my butt for a bit. So yeah, I'm going to continue that today, actually. So join me on my channel for some more streaming of my walkthrough or my playthrough of Control. And thank you so much for joining me for 100 Games of Summer. It's been an absolute pleasure. It really has. It's a privilege. I'm humbled. So thank you all. I love you all. And I'll see you in the next series. Bye, guys.